A very good afternoon to you, our viewers. Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Roundtable. My name is Shegun Odunwayo. Like we always do every Thursday afternoon at around this time of the day, we bring three interesting topics that are eating up the polity, topics that are guarding the balls, political, socio-economic matters that people are speaking about, and we analyze them to you from various angles here, and we present the truth to you, our audience. Of course, like we always do, we have two guests in the house with us today, and together we'll be analyzing and dissecting these matters from various lenses and presenting the truth to you, our viewers. So I have with me in the studio this afternoon Mr. Ezekwesili, one of our editors here in the house, and I have Mr. Adekunle as well, a regular, of course, one of our bosses in the house as well. No glasses, no tie. The glasses are in the project. But the vibe, like they call it, is available. Very quickly, we'll be starting with subject matter number 1 today. And it's about the fact that marketers, of course, when we mention marketers in this way, we are not talking about people that marketers on the streets. We're talking about oil marketers are now scared that PMS price may go up anytime soon. By PMS, of course, we know it's petrol, may go up anytime soon after the discussion with NNPCL and Dangote refinery broke down in the crude for Naira deal. That deal is off the table right now, and from the look of things, the prices of petrol may go up, and when the prices of petrol go up in Nigeria, the prices of commodities, goods and services will most likely rise as well. What is more interesting though is that after that news broke that the crude for Naira deal was off the table, some fuel stations were said to have been stockpiling, buying in large number, so that when it rises, they will just sell to Nigerians at that higher market price, despite the fact that they bought the less expensive one from the Dangote refinery. Of course, I'll be throwing this topic to Mr. Ezekwesili. Well, I think we spoke about this topic, if not last week, I think it was upper week, and we said that the increase is coming. We are hearing it's likely to be 935 naira or even more starting from next week or upper week or something, but that it is imminent and that some of these stations are going to be making money off Nigerians.
Looking at what is happening, Nigeria as the 6th largest producer of oil, we should not be facing this kind of fear. What I see in all this is what I call gonzo governance. Gonzo is when you call somebody gonzo driver, it's a driver that drives in a way that feels fair. Yes, it's gonzo governance, because people should be enjoying what their God gives them. The Almighty God has given us oil, and this oil, instead of giving us happiness, is bringing sadness, is bringing poverty. And you look at Angola. Angola, for the minimum wage, they've trashed that without the president of Angola, setting up any committee. Angola enjoys $120 per month as minimum wage. But look at what the 6th largest producer of oil in the whole world is facing. Now, talking about the oil issue, the style, the tradition has always been that when there is crisis at the top, the marketers will start hoarding fuel. And the profits. So that they will make profit. That is a kind of dog eating dog. The marketers don't respect Nigerians. The government don't respect Nigerians. At the end of the day, it is the poor masses that will suffer. What we will see in the next coming week is some motorists dropping their vehicles and inflation following it if there is any increase in the price of fuel.
And I know you've always supported that. This is what capitalism is all about.
Yes.
This is the business.
Business.
If you are not strong enough,
don't play.
Leave the kitchen if you don't want to eat. But this particular heat that is coming will will most definitely add to the sufferings of Nigerian people.
So this is how I see it. I think we should allow Dangote the NNPC to decide how they want to sell their product. Before now, we've tried to augment this fuel thing by putting subsidy for Nigerians, and we've seen where they are taking us to. That's taking us to this doldrum, this where we are now. It is because we're subsidizing some 30, 40 years ago. So if you had removed the subsidy and we have allowed things to operate the way it should be, by now would have gone past all these. Let's look at the economics of the world where we also have crude oil in place. How is Dubai developing? Is Dubai selling the crude in dollar or in riyal? In what currency? So we should allow NMC to decide how they want to sell and let the market remain perfect. Anything we do, we are going to change ourselves if we don't allow the international standard to operate. Yes, we will have some problems, maybe with our pricing system, but that is why we are saying, the government is saying, look, let's move to CNG. Let's move to electricity. Let's try some other alternatives so that we can balance our situation. The Nigerian people say every man's situation himself out. So if we don't do it the right way, we will come back here again in 10, 20 years again to begin to still complain. So what I'm saying is this, we don't know the modalities. If Dangote buys in Naira and is selling, okay, the other time was he had sent jet fuel to the US.
Yes,
so is he making more? So the same thing, we're saying more effects. We want to sell our product in dollar. We want more effects. Everybody buy this in dollar. Let's deal with it in the international market price so that we can do what? End that effects and make the Naira stronger.
I disagree with him.
Okay.
Why I disagree with him is that, one, if Dangote had the premonition that this issue of selling fuel in dollars will come up, I don't think Dangote will want to site his refinery in Nigeria. He would have cited it in Britain or any other place.
But it's not only selling to Nigeria, it's selling to the international
fact
market.
is that
so if it's selling to the international market, you should buy it with the international market.
The product is a Nigerian product.
It's a Nigerian product, agreed.
The company is a Nigerian company, that's Dangote company. It is an offense, it is wickedness to sell it in dollar because the end user who are Nigerians here, one of the end users who are Nigerians should buy fuel cheap because it is from their own backyard. That is what I'm saying. It is utter wickedness. So the moment, sheer wickedness to start selling. In fact, in the first place, hold on. In the first place, it is an offense for you to sell in another man's currency, but within a country.
You are dealing with oil for crying out loud.
That is not what you tell the person that is selling pepper.
But quick one now.
Yes.
Is it that because of this little fracas, this goodwill amongst Nigerians, positive for Dangote, negative for the NNPC, that has been going on for a couple of months since November, December, when they reduced, talking about Dangote, then they reduced twice, and it was looking as if Dangote is the good guy, and people are saying NPC as the bad guy. Is there a possibility? Is there a possibility of that leading to this breakdown of agreements despite the president's declaration?
Let's remove emotions, please. Let's remove emotions.
Okay. See,
let's discuss like businessmen.
There is no way.
Business.
There is no way.
NNPC is a business venture.
There is no way.
NNPCL is making money.
Does NNPC own the
Dangote wants to make money?
Why will you remove emotion? Why will you remove emotion when the product is not naturally the product belongs to Nigerians? The product belongs to Nigerians, and there is a presidential order. Why will NNPCL disobey that order?
It has been a Nigerian product, and it has gotten
as far as I'm concerned, Dangote is still the good guy. Why NNPCL does not want does not want the interest of Nigerians in the first place? I disagree with you. Why would NNPCL be selling?
Two private companies. They are both in the market to make profit. They are both entrepreneurs seeking for profit.
NNPC has always not reduced prices when prices reduce on the international market. It is always Dangote taking the lead.
As a businessman, I determine when to take my action, looking at my own books, my income and expenditure. I know what I make. I know what I'm not making. So if it pays Dangote to quickly reduce prices, please go ahead. You are okay with it. When we get to our turn and we can do that, we will do it. We will not do it because you're doing it. If we go with you into competition and we run into losses, how would it count for us? We become bad managers.
So go and look at the economy of Morocco compared to that of Nigeria. They have this a way of respecting their constitution. You go to Morocco. Peter Obi said it. You don't talk about dollar there. It's an offense to spend dollar there.
It's an offense to spend dollar locally, but to buy international product, how do you sell?
Why will you tag our crude oil international product?
It's an international product. It's not a local product. It's not, is it meant
So what I'm saying is that you don't sell in dollar to a company that is in Nigeria because you crude oil. Something that is in our backyard, they are saying is international product.
And he's going to sell that product outside.
So Gary, don't we take Gary outside? So Gary should be sold in dollar too.
We have to move on to the next topic now. Interesting studio moment at the moment. We have to move on to the next topic, and the topic is about the recent deliberations of the Nigerian House of Representatives, where they asked for immunity that scaled the second reading. So, and whenever anything scales the second reading, is going to the end, and they've asked for immunity clause to be stripped off governors and deputy governors in Nigeria. Actually, they have 80 bills that have passed the second reading stage at the moment. It's causing a lot of chaos, and it's leading to so much arguments back and forth here and there. About this topic is about stripping governors, present sitting governors and deputy governors, stripping them of immunity. Immunity means that as a sitting governor, it's an offense that you commit, you can be arrested, you can be thrown into jail. And even for a deputy governor, some persons have said this is good for democracy. Some other persons are saying this is a bad trend that allows for state capture by the federal government or by other forces. I'll be starting with Mr. Aliu this time around. What's your opinion about this particular topic?
I think they shouldn't remove the immunity. They should allow the immunity clause to stay. Because
some governors have gone far using this clause to do a lot of damage.
Yes, it happens. You need to protect the citadel of power. If you leave it open, anybody will just throw litigation against them and remove them anyhow. So for you to have a good check and balance, let them have an immunity for the period they will be in government. And after that, you go and chase them.
So because we should retain the system.
I think they should retain it. Removing it is wrong.
The system be retained.
The latest news this morning is that the House of Rep has been able to identify that they didn't do well. So they have rescinded that decision. And I think they did well because there is no way you will remove immunity from deputy that the governor and deputy governor they enjoy. So when you do that, there will be a kind of crisis. People will be throwing petition left, right, and center. And at the end of the day, the executive governor and the deputy governor will not be able to concentrate on the job. So it is a good thing that they have removed it. But in the first place, I don't know who pushed for that, who pushed that kind of bill forward, because it doesn't make any sense. Why? Because when a country of let's say River State now, a state of 6 million people, then the governor is there. I tell you, every day you get nothing less than let's say 200 petitions. So the governor will not be able to concentrate. The deputy governor will not be able to concentrate. So it's a good thing that decision has been changed because they have realized their folly. So the best thing is allow the governors be. Any governor that goes against the law, wait for him at the end of his tenure.
Does it not encourage tyranny from some of these political office holders like Bolison in the past?
That is why we say, if you allow the process to move the way it should move, to go the way it should go, tyrants will not have their way into power. But because we have power brokers that will want to, take over the emergence of a governor, they will end up getting in tyrants. They will end up getting in thieves.
Okay, now, we don't have too many governors that have been in jail, despite the fact that many governors have been taken to court by the EFCC, ICPC, but their conversion rate is slow. So I think many governors feel the worst that will happen is we'll get out of this place and then, we'll just find our way through. Are we not encouraging this system that has probably not been too profitable to continue?
As much as it looks like as if we want to encourage this system, but it's just that it helps to solidify governance. If those guys are going there to rule and not to amass wealth for themselves and not to destroy the system, we will get better governance. It's for better governance, to protect them, to do well. When you put the immunity clause, it's not to give you power to do and undo. is to make you govern well so that you can be protected to do your work right. People should understand. The meticulous, there are some cases whereby if a governor commits murder, let's take for example the one that happened in River of Prison. When the president saw that they were not doing it well, what did he do? He suspended them. So there are other rules, other ways to go about this issue. So the meticulous is not as important as we think it is. But it's just that sometimes people exploit it, and that was why I think maybe some people want it removed. But if the rulers know that, look, they want to do well, it's to protect them to do well, not for anything.
One of the bills that have been raising dust also is that when you stay in a place for 10 years, 10 years residency, you become a citizen of that state. And that has also gathered a lot of dust right now at the moment. What's your take about that?
About
you residency, 10 years residency leading to automatic
citizenship or stateship.
It is normal.
Stateship.
Ordinarily, it is normal. But one, I was in River State for 10 years. Ordinarily, I should be called a citizen of River State.
Yes.
But somehow, in that state, people still talk about indigens and non-indigens. So even if you like, stay there for 30 years, it doesn't. But if that constitution can come in, people will know. I know we are brothers. As one Nigeria, we are brothers. But somehow, the constitution has not allowed that. I want that kind of constitution to. I want the constitution to be amended towards that angle.
It's already in the constitution. I don't understand why they are doing the
then
big
why?
Because I think it's 5 years. Because if a child is born in Lagos, and he stays in Lagos for over 5 years, he's already a Lagosian. So when we go to the US, we go to other parts of the UK.
But in practice, it's not like this. But in practice, it's not like that. And that is why the constitution should be amended to reinforce it.
Because if it did not work the first time, what will make it work this time?
What will make it work? I will always like taking things from the grassroots. Now, if you have good governors, if you have good governance, you will not. All those kind of things will be put into place, and the government will make you recognize, you make citizens recognize that this man that has been here for 10 years should. But the fact is that you don't even ordinarily, you don't need to go to court. If you have a good governor, he will ensure that this thing is put into practice. But the problem is that, like you said about tyrants, we have leviathans, we have barracudas, we have anacondas everywhere. As governors, as leaders, and that's why they don't know what they are doing.
So also we have some followers who don't like this, and they keep stalking the divide every time. The other time somebody was saying someone who is not from Lagos State or somebody is not from Lagos State. For what purpose? These guys have stayed in Lagos, they've run their businesses for a long time in this country, so in those states, so they should bona fidely, without any problem, be accorded the rights to be Lagosians.
Let me give you an instance.
Went to school in Lagos.
Remember that time Atiku Abubakar, they say he was from Cameroon. From Cameroon.
So those kind of divides should be taken off the
should not come up. I don't know what it means is that we are not, as citizens of Nigeria, we are not being educated at all. We just go without being educated about who a citizen is. So there must be a kind of education of the citizenry.
So let's also look at it from
reorientation of the citizens.
You know when they are sharing a bursary, that they ask you to submit your citizenship. They ask you to submit all this. So if I had gone to Lagos for over, sometimes when I see it, I'm like, wow, we like this. You go to the local government, they are telling you because you are not born or you are not an indigene, naturally you have an issue. It's not supposed to be. The moment you have stayed in that state for 5 years, for 6 years, you have your last right, you have whatever card of that state, you are automatically a citizen of that state. I should enjoy all the benefits that born and bred people there should enjoy. They shouldn't divide it.
Have said that this particular bill is targeting certain states, and that people who are from certain states don't bother, but that there are some top states, key states, that some persons feel, no, I should be a part of this state as well, and that is why this is coming up. A lot of dust, like I said earlier, about this bill. Do you think that's also a possibility, that it looks like there's a target on certain states?
I don't think so. I think generally in Nigeria, we diminish ourselves by that divide of stateship. It's wrong. The moment you are in a state for over 5 years, you're born there 6, 7 years, you're already automatically a citizen of that state. Every right that every other person is going to benefit, you should benefit. Take for instance, there was a time somebody was looking for admission in one of the universities in Lagos, and they had to go and trace. Despite the fact that you went to primary school, you went to secondary school in Lagos, you are not a Lagosian. And I asked them why, and the school admission processes removed his name, and I said it's wrong. he should enjoy that benefit to the letter. He went to the local government, the same thing, and they also said, no, where's your father's house? And said, father's house for what? I was born here. I go to school here. My primary, secondary school, now I want to enter the university, and telling me this is wrong. So all of us, the Obas, the local government, so that it can be well enforced. It's not because some states are going to be populated and some states, because the state that is populated today, tomorrow may become sparse if other states are doing their own. Yes. People are moving from Lagos to other states to go and settle them, because I get to Ilorin the other day and I saw the development in that environment. So massive. People are coming from Benin and they want to stay in that state. So if they stay long, they become a bona fide state because they are contributing to the economic growth of that state one way or the other.
Okay, now we have to move on to the last topic. This topic has been on for a couple of weeks. Of course, it's the Senator Natasha issue. But this time around, it's the controversy that occurred between senators, I mean, a particular senator, but of course it was a committee, and the ex-minister, Mrs. Obi Ezekwesili, and the controversy that came out of it. I think I'll be starting with you.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Who do you blame? Looking at that conversation and how it went, who do you blame for the outcome?
I blame the two of them for them to have raised their voice in such a manner that
using those words.
those such will I say gutter words? They shouldn't have done that. A former minister, coming from a former minister and a sitting senator, they should have embraced a decorum, a high sense of decorum. But they threw all that away in anger. And I believe that there should be a kind of orientation for public officers in anger management. You know, they should be able to manage their anger there, knowing full well that they were before the camera.
And the whole world was watching.
And the whole world, the whole world was watching them. You know? Yes. So
what do you blame?
If you look at the two of them, you know from let's take Ezekwesili from the beginning. You know who she is. When she takes a point or a ground, she's going to fight it to the letter. And everything about that woman is hard, tough. So she comes to the committee meeting already with a biased mind, that the committee meeting will not give them justice. So
in a favor.
To me, I think they came to play the optics because they knew they would not go further than letting the world see something out of this thing. There is nothing there. You have already made up your mind that this committee will not give you justice. So why did you come? You'd have just waited, because if you hear what
you think she was wrong?
She was no. They are planning for that day.
But ordinary too. The chairman of the Imaswen, is it Imaswen?
Yeah,
the committee chairman shouldn't have made him the committee chairman, because in the past he made some there were some utterances to show that he was clearly not on the side of the Natasha'S.
Like this, all the whole men don't have women. All the whole men at the Senate don't have wives. They don't have daughters. They don't have sisters. So they were going to be against Natasha'S.
We are looking at the issue.
So you
can't be a judge in your own matter. So that's why it will not work.
If she had come to listen to the men, and let's even hear these men talk, because you've not talked to them. You just said they are biased. You would have listened to them and heard their own side of the story. And what was the problem? The man said he wants to swear the oath. Ezekwesili said, you can't swear the oath because you are already biased. But why are you there when you know they are biased?
Ordinary.
So they shouldn't have come.
No. When you say why, she can come there to tell the chairman of the committee to recuse himself.
Okay.
So that coming there is not. Yes. The coming to that place is not an offense.
To them,
it's not an offense.
It's biased. The whole men in the Senate, because the committee chairman told him, I said, if you say this, it means all of us here are biased.
Still talking about this topic, but the political angle. Somehow, some constituents of Senator Natasha Uduaghan and Akpoti have come up to say, we don't want you anymore. We are recalling you, and that process started. INEC first of all said something was wrong with the system, and then they came out to say, oh, we've gotten it. They wrote to the Senate. They wrote to Senator Natasha herself. Senator Natasha herself is back in the country, according to reports, back in her constituency and doing politics, rallying around. Now it looks like it's a survivor. She's in the state of trying to survive now, from allegations to being on the floor of the Senate, to being around the world, to the world media, back home, now fighting for political survival. This looks like a witch hunt, does it not?
I'm looking at it from the angle of the fact that the issue has not been addressed. and the issue that has been addressed is how to remove her completely from the Senate. That is not good for the country. That is not good for the country. Now, the process of recalling her, even if you look at the process, it's not even...
The allegations that it's the APC in Kogi that are trying to move...
What
about rivals in our own party?
It's still an allegation. But what I'm even saying is that have they been able to embrace the rules of recalling Natasha?
INEC is
the rule.
INEC will decide. INEC has agreed that they've embraced the rule. INEC has accepted itself.
Okay. Well, you say you have
initially raised
they sent names.
Yes.
About 2,500 of them.
200, no, not 200.
No, 200, over
200,000.
Yes.
Sorry, over 200,000. Now, do they have what will I call it? Their phone numbers,
signatures. I think.
Do they have their
that was the whole INEC picked. And yesterday they said they had
INEC picked that whole,
and
they have received
24 hours after.
Has INEC been able to identify the numbers?
That will be the next process.
So let us watch that process, because I believe that it's a process that is being influenced by the power brokers. Because recalling a senator is not a tea party.
It was done for against Dino.
It's not a tea party. But if this one works, then the power brokers has won. Because it's a tough process.
Now what becomes of the allegation? Because the reason why, I mean, how did we...
The allegation of...
the allegation was sexual misconduct. And then how did we move from sexual misconduct to...
that is where the Nigerianness, our Nigerianness coming. That is where our Nigerianness coming. We have left the issue.
Now,
a woman has said she was sexually harassed, and now systematically sending a very wrong signal that even if a senator rapes a female senator, nobody will talk. But I know that will not happen. But I'm just giving an example.
So also let's look at it again like this. In her political party, she must have rivals. Those who aspire to be where she is. So they also too could have been the one doing this underground.
But we have moved away from the subject matter
completely. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who is pushing.
So you now start from the beginning.
We are now moving to our political survivor.
Our political rival will look at it. Look, this woman is doing it too much. Why? You went to BBC, you went to Fox News, you went all these allegations like that, rowing these allegations. Whereas at the beginning you made the initial error. You flouted the rules of the house. You used the rules of the house to raise this allegation. Okay, let's even stay within this purview and clear this in. You've taken the country's name outside to paint our senators as what?
That is emotion.
It's wrong. That's
emotion.
Hold on. This issue?
No, that is emotion. The woman is going out because the issue has not been addressed.
So what I would say, the issue is already in court. The issue is in court.
I think she's talking about the Senate as
the proof she has not
the Senate as a body.
As Senate, they are not doing anything about it. That's why it's not the court.
Oh, let's hold on. The Senate that is supposed to do something about it. You are saying that in-house this chairman committee are biased against you. You are saying all she's saying over there where she's going to that the men in the country are against her.
She has also called for an independent body.
So which independent body do you want to come and do it when you the court is there? You've taken the case to court. So let's all wait for the court to decide.
But what I'm saying is that the issue of sexual harassment. Why has a committee not been set up?
Because the case is in court. So let's wait. All the other one have optics. I'm telling them that the strategy you are using is wrong.
Now,
if she had gone to her constituency to cry,
can she survive?
You mean
now she's on her way fighting for political survival, trying to retain a seat in the Senate because this road that is being followed at the moment is a very bad one for her.
Of course,
she survive this ordeals?
It is not dicey. It is open that she's sinking already, and she's the only person in the ocean. Let me tell you, in Nigeria, you know that truth can be buried.
Of course, anywhere.
Anywhere too. Not only in Nigeria, truth can be buried. But my own is that for truth not to be buried, let that case be looked at. The Senate president may be.
Is it the Senate president that is doing this?
No, I don't think so. I see the Senate president as not guilty. You know.
Until you.
But the fact is that let them hear. Let them allow the court to do its work. The Senate too should even tell Akpabio to step aside and see if we can look at that allegation,
it-
because it's already spoiling the name of the Senate.
Hold on.
Stepping aside
To step
going to
aside,
happen.
why? How? Because you need to clarify your step aside. To step aside the Senate president for now, or anytime this
Not forever.
or anytime this case is called.
No, so that
quick
they can
one.
look at, so that he will not use his
This
position
one-
to influence the outcome of the matter. No, you said the matter is in court.
Let's
Yeah.
all do this on the way for Senator Natasha.
Yeah.
Can she survive in 10 seconds? Can she survive?
She can,
She can survive.
if she has enough proof.
I mean, I'm talking about the recall.
Because the allegation.
The recall.
The recall.
Not the case. The
she-
case now is now.
The recall, like
Side.
you always have divide. Let's see where the recall will go. It's INEC now that is going to do the process. Check and check and check and check. If INEC can do his own check and balance very well, and she can do her own politicking too very well, go back. Now she's back home, isn't it? She's running back to her constituency,
Yes,
and
she's back home.
she has to do that footwork.
She has to keep her
And she has to
defense
keep it
very
there.
well.
Convinced that you are worthy
And then
of a
stand
senator.
firm.
Yes,
Yes.
it's not.
All right.
Yes.
All right, it's time for us to every Thursday from 2 to 2:45. Unfortunately, I'm not being well. Today is a little different because we are starting ahead of time and we are not using our typical 45 minutes, and that's because we have a big thing happening in house here at the Punch. So there was absolutely no way we were going to excuse this fantastic show that you love so much. So we decided to just move the time up front. Started at about 1:30 and we are rounding off at 2 because of the big move, like I said earlier, that we are having in-house today. So if you are wondering, why are they on now? Why are they on going off when you are coming on? This is the reason why it's happening. So we apologize. It won't be same next week, which is going to be next month, because this is the last show for the month of March. I hope it has been a fantastic month for you. It has been